Recoup check-in with Sid. Sid was just telling me about a sales call that he had and another person that's interested to try out the product. Sid asked if we were live. I said no, and so now we are live. Passing it back to Sid to continue. How was the call with Pete? And who was the other person you were on with from Big Ass Kids?
Carolyn. Carolyn from Big
Caroline.
Ass Kids. Shout out to Pete for the intro. Yeah, it was just a great call. Talking to them about their ecosystem, which sounds awesome. They have a bunch of artists that they help do artist development and do like connections and stuff like that. So I showed them Recoup. She loved the idea. She loved the platform, um, and wants to figure out a way to do some kind of collaboration. And also, she has some other artists that she's working with. Uh, so yeah, just great call in general. I'm linked with Pete afterwards, and we just kind of chopped it up with about AI agents, and he's doing some awesome stuff with his nonprofit. His biggest feedback for Recoup was fixing onboarding, because he was like, all of the artists that I have shown this to, he's like, I've been telling everybody, and then it seems like they all get on and they don't know where to begin. Like they kind of just they fall into like this. What do I do? So he was like, if you could figure out how to get as much context up front from the artist as possible, whether it's even just like a type form, asking them their goals, who they are, etc., so that you have that context and then can kind of guide them. So I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. And then we're gonna have a call next week. And he was like we could work on the onboarding flow together. So I was like, fuck yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna try to live stream it
Next week.
yeah. I'll invite you, so if you want to jump on and chat onboarding. And then other than that, I sent over the PR, answered some questions, and that's been my morning.
Is your MIQ the same for dev versus business, or are they different?
MIQ for dev is what specific product issues would we prevent? What specific product issues would prevent free trial users from converting to paid customers, and why? My business MIQ is, what do we provide to record labels that is necessary that they can't get anywhere else?
Dev question is, what specific product issues are preventing conversion from free to paid? And on the business side, what do we provide to record labels which is necessary and they can't get anywhere else?
Correct.
Cool.
And it's right here on my handy dandy whiteboard.
Yeah, the whiteboard's good. My daily MIQ is, what specific logs are missing to properly debug T-Grizzly scraping. I got the T-Grizzly bug recreated locally. It took an hour to scrape all of the data. We had 1,200 comments on Instagram alone. And then for some reason, when I visit the fan page, the post page, it shows empty data. So right now I'm going to add in logs so that I can better understand the bug. Once I understand the bug, I will fix the bug. The current step is debugging to better understand where the bug is. My MIQ again is, what specific logs are missing to properly debug T-Grizzly scraping.
Fire. And we're just for understanding, debugging is before opening or widening the cap for scraping, right?
From my understanding, that was a priority. If we want to
Agreed.
switch, I
Nope,
can.
nope. No. It was just a question for clarity. So I don't start being like, why are we only scraping 1,000? And meanwhile, you're debugging.
Yeah, I don't know where the 1,200 is coming from, but yeah, the scraper was showing we got 1,200 comments on T Grizzly stuff.
Yeah, let's fix the bug, and then from there we'll figure out widening it. What's best next steps? Do you want to open PR and roast me?
Sure. Yeah. Let's review your PR. So why is there both the get server messages and a query memories function?
Wait, where are you? Is this the newest one?
This is your pull request.
Okay, so you're asking why are we doing query memories?
Say that again.
You're asking why is there both functions?
Yes.
As opposed to?
Just get server messages. Like why have the second function?
I don't know. I can ask Cursor so that I can better give you an answer.
If you don't know, then get rid of it and tell Cursor get rid of query memories. There should only be get server messages, and update the route to use get server messages instead of query memories. That way we have consistency across all backend functions. Everything uses the same function instead of some places using get server messages while others are using query memories, which is going to create more dissonance and confusion in the developer experience. Does that make sense, or do you think there's something I'm not considering here?
There might be something you're not considering. Let me ask. Why are we... Wait. Do I have notes? Let me see. Give me a second. Segment, funnel, get segment, artists. Which where is that comment?
Get server messages.
Oh, that's a new comment.
Yeah, I'll submit it now. It's now been submitted.
Let's see. We're using both functions for different purposes. Query memories is a shared utility function that handles the database query, getting messages from Supabase in the right order. Get server messages uses the query memories but adds the LangChain specific transformations needed for the AI processing. The approach keeps our code dry while respecting that the API needs raw data for the front end, while the AI processing needs specifically formatted LangChain objects. If we used only get server messages for everything, the API would get LangChain objects it doesn't need, or we'd need complex conditional logic in one function to handle both cases. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Get server messages doing LangChain stuff. In that case, get server messages is not doing anything Supabase related, and it should not be inside of the Supabase folder. Get query memory should be its own lib inside of Supabase. Both get server messages and the API call the function, I don't like the name get server messages anymore. It sounds like the goal of this is to do chain related stuff, get LangChain memories. But if it sounds like the purpose of this server function is LangChain related mutations, right?
Yes.
So I would move this get server I would make a new function just for query memories. Each file should only export one function. That way we follow the single responsibility principle. Make a new function or move, if you make a new function for query memories, move get server messages out of the Supabase folder because it's not directly querying anything base.
Where would
and
you
move
put
it
it?
into a lang folder if there is one,
Perfect.
and call it get LangChain memories. I'd call it get LangChain memories. That way we're keeping with the word of memories instead of mixing memories and messages.
I love it.
But this is the only file that I still have questions on. Everything I've checked. You want to? I'll stop sharing and you'll make those updates.
I will.
Take over.
You want me to take over? Do you have time?
Yeah, we're only 11 minutes in.
Holy shit. Okay, hold on. Can you see?
I can see.
All right. Where is my limitless? Boom. Actually, I'll just take this.
You make a new function for query memories, move get server messages out of the Supabase folder because it's not directly querying anything. That doesn't sound like Pete.
That was you. Oh, do I have it in the wrong? I'm recording the Pete and this transcript. Okay, I would make the new. Let's just run through this. Make sure. I'll make the new function for query memories. Each should only export one function. That way, we follow the same function. Make a new function or move. Move get server messages out of the Supabase folder because it's not directly querying anything in Supabase. And move it into a LangChain folder. Let's see if there's a LangChain folder. There's not.
The agent folder then.
In the agent folder, or do you want to create a LangChain folder?
Can you expand agent? Call agent API, get agent, all this has the word agent in it. What's initialize agent? I believe initialize agent is also LangChain. This is also LangChain. So yeah, let's move it into the agent folder. Are you okay with that, or do you think this is a flaw in my architecture to be putting LangChain stuff in agent? I'm happy to create a new LangChain folder if you think that's a better architecture.
I want to keep it as simple as possible, but also keep in mind that in the future, whatever will also prevent us from asking questions like this again. So do you think it'd be better to create the LangChain agent now so we always know LangChain stuff goes there? Is it too big of a, is it not simple?
Totally your call. For me, it was intuitive to open an agent for LangChain. If for you that was not intuitive, then create a LangChain folder so that you don't have that confusion.
It'll be intuitive now, and move it into the agent folder. And call it, you want to call it agent memories or LangChain memories?
Get LangChain memories. Any feedback? Do you have a name that you would prefer instead of that?
No, I like that. That's good. Okay, I will make a new. Let's just make sure I'm clear here and we're good. I'll make a new function for just querying memories. Each file should only export one function. That way we follow the single responsibility principle. Make a new function or move if you make a new function for query memories. Wait. Let's just get rid of that. Move get server messages out of the Supabase folder because it's not directly querying anything in Supabase. Move it into the agent folder and call it get LangChain memories. That way we're keeping the word of memories. Okay, so this is just changing the Supabase. Let's just do this.
Do you understand those suggestions?
Yeah, we're just changing the name to make it easier to understand and moving it into a new folder.
Yep, agree 100%.
Cool.
Gives you the little ego boost. Oh, what a great suggestion you made.
Create a dedicated file just for the query memories functions in the Supabase folder. Correct, we already have that, right?
Yeah, it's waiting for you to tell it to proceed.
Yeah. While it proceeds, you want to hear something sad?
No,
Last
but
night,
I will.
It's sad, but it's also funny and happy. Last night you were like, okay, cool. I'm meeting with Samir in 30 minutes. So if you can get me your PR by then we'll review it. And I was like, game on. And then I came into Cursor and Claude was down. And so I experienced the world without Cursor and a hard deadline in 30 minutes and realized I'm not a developer. And it totally humbled myself.
The LLM's not here.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to meet my deadline. And I have I don't know what. So then I tried using GPT 4o and it was just like was so shitty and like it was. And I started to not trust GPT 4o because it wasn't calling tools. And it was just such a funny experience to go from I felt I felt going from the AI makes me 10x my capabilities of what I can do to like, oh yeah, this is who I am without AI. It was just a very eye-opening moment.
Like you're about to go on a road trip, you've got it pulled up on Google Maps, and then all of a sudden your Google Maps stops working and you're like, oh shit, I have no idea how to get this road map.
I don't have a map. I don't have any money. I don't know what the fuck am I doing? Where do I go? Yeah, it was so funny.
And then it came up before the deadline?
Yeah, and then it came back in 15 minutes and then I got it through, but it was a 15-minute freak out. Create a dedicated file for query memories in a Supabase folder. Didn't we already do this? Why is it making it again?
Because it wasn't in its own file before.
Oh, got it. Okay, cool.
It needed to create the new just query memories file.
Create a new file in the agent folder called LangChain memories. Great. Update the API endpoint to use that. Great. Wait. Yeah.
And now it wants to delete that old file because we're no longer using it.
Accept all. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, this was what I suggested. Let's get it pushed and then jump back over to me. So you don't even test sometimes. You just I also do the same. I just trust that it's going to work and ship it.
I am trusting
I
right
tested
now.
on the preview deployments. I have not been testing locally often. I've been finding it's faster for me to just vibe code and then test once it's deployed, especially if I'm live streaming. Instead of running a server, slowing everything down, just get it pushed and then test the preview deployment.
Correct. If we weren't on live stream, I would be testing this locally, but I feel like I'm on the clock.
Yeah. Finished?
And
Oh, no.
pushed.
Swap it back.
Stop sharing.
Coder finishes his side. QA, dumb QA person, picks it up, start reviewing and testing.
Oh man. And the scary part is that we could replace ourselves with agents that do this instead.
Did I tell you there's a hackathon here this weekend in Buenos Aires?
No.
AI hackathon with on-chain, and the team I'm working on is going to be a startup in a box. So you have a new startup idea, you want your HR person, your legal person, your marketing person, you a chat with all those different agents built in, and it all runs on Next.js and Vercel. So it's free to use and spin it up, and I think it'll help us for Recoup to start doing more multi-personalities for like different roles for different members and trying to create an app that...
Are you using Agent Kit or what are you going to use?
Gonna try to use all Vercel stack to try to keep the experience as lean as possible.
Nice.
Hopefully just Next.js with Claude, maybe LangGraph for agent stuff. I've been seeing Eliza v2. I have not tried it yet, so I don't want to test it for a hackathon. Query memories route, this is good. Get LangChain memories is a new function. It calls query memories, formats the data into LangChain types. Why do we want Olst?
It's a great question. So we want it to have the conversation in the context of how it's being discussed, so that that's how the LLM reads the conversation, token by token, top down. And so you give it the most recent message, and then you say, here's all the context, and it can read the So in the sense of, if you say, my dog's name is Rue, but then 3 questions later you say, actually, my dog's name is Little, and then you ask it, what's my dog's name? It will understand the switch of, okay, you said Rue, now you said Little, and now this. So it has the conversational flow.
In that case, should we change this to ascending true, delete reverse?
We want ascending, or we still want the most 100. We still want it as what you said before, which is the 100 most recent memories.
Recent messages. Okay. Let me check out query memories. You want the 100 latest memories, but you want them sorted in earliest first.
Correct.
Instead of latest first. Okay.
Correct. So that way, when we get to memory 101, the first message at the top of the list goes away, and that's the one that's forgotten.
Yeah. Updated at ascending, limit it to the limit. Okay. All right. You've taken enough of my review. Let's get into testing. I've approved your code changes. Check I am testing your changes. And so I test this by telling it.
Go to the ticket. I have very, very nice, clear testing instructions.
Yeah.
In linear.
We have to look at that. It's linear now. All right, let's see what we got in the ticket. Chat couldn't remember previous messages, now remembers. Testing, send a message with key fact. He gave me exact text. Let's log in.
I mean, it doesn't need to be exact. You can use your cat's name.
We'll do that then.
This has been a fun one. This has been a fun test. Because
what made it fun?
Because you could try to trick the LLM to see if it fucks up. So you could, I had it counting with me. I had to like see what happens after 100 messages. So I had to like have long.
You were able to do 100 messages?
Yeah, I had to go through and I had it literally count with me, like 1, 2, 3, 4. We were counting.
Like it said 2?
Yeah. And then I would stop and then go do something else and then come back and be like, where do we leave off? And it would know.
Have you been happy with your testing on its results?
I have. I thought that 100 messages might not be long enough, but it's definitely long enough for the context of our users.
Oh, I asked what's my dog's name. You have not mentioned a dog. So far, you've only said you have 2 cats named Solana and Kalani. Nice. So it remembered that. Solana is in white. Kalani is gray and white. Did it ask tuxedo pattern? Yeah, she's tuxedo. Yeah, Solana is tuxedo pattern. Kalani likes to talk and hates the vet. Is quiet but beats up her sister when she wants attention from me. What colors are my cats? Solana is black and white with a tuxedo pattern. Kalani is gray and white. Have I only said colors and names? Tell me about the cats. Solana, black and white, quieter the pair, physical communication style, playfully beat up her sister when she wants her attention. He's doing perfect. Means sunshine in Spanish. Gray and white, very vocal and talkative, particularly expressive about disliking vet visits, named possibly after the RMB. I mean, it even knows who I'm naming them after. It didn't get Solana's name after SZA, but it got the Kalani's named after Kalani. Different personality. I mean, this is testing approved. Nice work. The chat is better. It is now joyful to chat about my cats with.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Approved. Nice work, Sid.
So we're getting chat good now.
Yeah, you are.
And this is a good, like, if you have time or you're testing, like, this is now the objective is to like see where it breaks. So like I haven't tried pushing it, but like, you know, where does it not have context, or like when does it start to get confused, and then how do we start to improve the memory?
Right. What tools are we missing? What context are we missing? Where does I like how you phrased it. Where does the experience fall short? Going back to your dev question that you posed, what specific product issues are preventing conversion from free tier to paid?
All of my P0s are done. So
did you ship this?
Oh, I did not merge this. Let me merge this. GitHub, group chat, pull requests, improve conversation context, and merge. Yeah. All right, we're merged. So
You can update the thread, or should I do it real quick?
wait, say that again. I'm sorry. What did you say?
I'll update the thread. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. What specific product issues would prevent our free trial users from converting to paying customers? The only specific product issues that I can think of right now is getting segments back working, so that we can.
That's what I'm debugging, right?
Yeah. But other than that, once we get that going and we can, segments are working, and we open it up so that there's more of them. I don't think there's anything preventing people from converting that I can be aware of. Then it just becomes a bunch of P1s of how can we improve and make it right. And my next task while you work on segments is I am going to start to try to make a artist knowledge base MVP. So we have actually something I could talk through right now. We have in our artists table or accounts table a knowledge column that is just any. I was thinking of doing a test run by just creating a markdown file or a JSON file where I do a deep research scrape on an artist and throw that into the knowledge column, and then it prompt infuse or prompt inject that information in the system, just in the system query, just like I'm doing with the get memories, but get knowledge base. And so the LLM will also have the context of the artist selected for whatever the deep research brings back. You're muted.
This is your biz MIQ or your dev MIQ?
This is my my dev. I'm sorry, my biz MIQ.
What do we provide to record labels which is necessary and they can't get anywhere else?
Correct. This is the start of creating a knowledge base around their artist that will allow our LLM to be smart, our platform to be smarter and have more context about their roster than anywhere else.
What is the first step in, what is the smallest thing that could possibly work? What is the simplest thing that could possibly work? Is it building out new information in a new scraper and then putting that data in, and after you get that new data, trying to surface it? Or
I will show you my plan.
Getting the existing information that we're not already including, like the artist bio, the artist list of videos, the information that we already have in Supabase, which is
so can you see my screen?
Step. I can see your screen and it's up.
Let me show you what I did. So I use deep research to create a Young Thug. Was it not going to open here? I'm going to have to open it.
Yeah, I get the process. Like, tell it to do deep research on an artist, and then you get that.
Correct. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, what I'm doing is I'm doing the deep research manually and just not on Recoup, pulling it, creating this research, and then all I need to do is just take this information that I have and figure out how do I get this information into the prompt when I'm chatting with that selected artist. So what's the simplest way to get this information, the chat to have this information when I'm chatting with it? And then
So
from
your
there,
answer to my question is get new data instead of add the data that we already have is the simplest first step for the task that you have.
get new data.
Yeah, you're talking about doing deep research, new API calls, new model use, new tech, right?
Yes.
And just kind of ignoring the fact that we're not pulling artist info that we already have from Supabase. You're saying let's kind of ignore that artist info. I'm going to go and build out a new thing without and just like go down that route. But that is the simpler path to you, or the more effective path towards achieving your goal.
I think so, but you're making me question myself. And I'm trying to think if I should go down the other path of creating what's already in Supabase. But what's already in Supabase, does that
Bio
give me
on every platform. So we've got their bio on Twitter, bio on Instagram, bio on TikTok that we're not throwing into the context. Follower accounts for each of those platforms, list of videos for each of those platforms. That's all data that we already have. And instead of using that data, we're saying, let's go do more deep research, throw that into Supabase. And then after we do that work, let's connect that data into the database, into the chat. And I'm just wondering, like, seems like we're adding extra steps into adding more context into the chat instead of we're, if that's the path you want to go down, I'll support it. I just want to flag, like, in my mind, there is a shorter path towards adding more data, which is we already have this data. We're not using it. It sounds like you do not find this data valuable, which makes me wonder, is there actual soundness in your path, or is this just brand new shiny object that we don't have? Let's go to the greener pastures, the grass being greener somewhere else, and let's run over there because that's going to be better than what we already have. I'm trying to just understand if you've thought through this, or trying to just help prompt you with questions to guide your build. But I don't want what I'm doing to stop you from building. So if you feel like I'm adding unnecessary friction, I'll just stop talking and just be like, okay, you do you.
No, I appreciate the challenge. I do. I appreciate the stopping to think about if this is the best path for the next build. My immediate question, or my immediate answer to you, is I probably should go do some tests before I go down this path to compare Recoup's chat about an artist that we have in our database to what a user would get from Claude, what a user would get from ChatGPT. And then think about what data do we currently have in our database that they don't have, and then ask if we start connecting that, if we build those tools to connect to that data, will that match or beat the responses that I'm getting on the other two platforms? So I think I appreciate the challenge because it makes me want to go do more testing before and really identify where, go back into the MIQ, is what are we providing to record labels that's necessary that they can't get anywhere else? And my immediate thought was, well, we can provide more context around an artist than the other platforms have, where they can't get anywhere else. And my question, I guess, is, in order to provide that value, does Recoup need the extra layer of context that a deep research would provide, or does it have enough information already where we can skip that layer of context?
I think that's a wonderful question to write down. I agree that is the correct question to gravitate around. and to think about.
Yeah.
Do you remember how you said it? Did it already
Yeah,
get
yeah.
captured in your little voice device?
Yeah, it's
Can
being
you tell it to
captured.
me? I want to write it down as well.
Let me see. Where are we providing record label citizens? And my immediate thought was, well, we can provide more context around an artist than the other platforms have. They can. My question, okay, in order to provide the value, I'm sorry, let me rephrase this. Does Recoup need the extra layer of context that deep research would provide? Or does it have enough information already where we can skip that layer of context and still reach our MIQ of providing record labels with information that is necessary that they can't get anywhere else?
Will better prepare your deep research query to orienting the query around the data that we're missing, instead of just a generic do a deep dive on Young Thug, being able to highlight, here's the info we already have on Young Thug, please fill in the gap that we don't already have. Or if that's the data that we already have, you start to see, well, we're missing X, Y, and Z, and then being more clear on this is what we need from the deep research.
That's a good idea.
In order to provide value, does Recoup need context from deep research, or do we already have enough data in Supabase?
I like it.
Anything else for today?
I will get back to you tomorrow with the response.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you got this far, please leave us a